President, dear Commissioner, colleagues, the European Commission and our committee, our current commission, has made environment one of its flagship programs through the Green Deal, and we have also announced the climate emergency. We just voted on a climate law last week. Having said that, nothing that will serve no purpose whatsoever if the ECT remains in place as it is. Whenever a signatory party tries to put into place some sort of environmental priorities, then they can be brought to the arbitration court, and at times they have to pay out major damages. This is public money that would then be paid out, money that we will need in order to be able to put into place the energy and climate transition, and that we will furthermore need because of the crisis. This is archaic, and it is a climaticide, and it means that it's going to support these energy companies. The negotiations are ongoing, and we would like to know, as members of the Parliament, what are the Commission's red lines if this ECT were not to be able to be renegotiable, and we are concerned about that. Will the Commission undertake some sort of concerted effort to address this treaty such that we can be able to put into place the energy transition? Thank you.
Madame Vedren Marie-Pierre.
Madam Bertrand, thank you very much. Madam Commissioner, there's one thing that's plain for all of us to see. Our investment policy must be aligned with the Paris Agreements and our commitments as set out in the European Green Deal. The current treaty, the Energy Charta Treaty, is not compatible with the priorities set out in the European Green Deal. So, from this flow all the statements that you've made. We must exclude fossil fuels from the scope of the treaty. How many companies are actually active within this sector and risk threatening our ability to meet the objectives? We're seeing that there is a difference between the investors and the states. We have to protect the sovereignty of states to act. Still, we can't see any of the signatories following this logic as set out. So, Madam Commissioner, it's very urgent that we make the necessary preparations. Thank you. The next speaker is Ms. Bricmont.
Thank you. The European Commission adopted an ambitious Green Deal. Some 2 weeks ago, the European Parliament voted on a European climate law, foreseeing a 60% reduction in emissions. And yet we have here a treaty dating from the 90s. No hesitation, we need to leave the ECT, which protects investment in fossil fuels, allows for an investor-state dispute settlement arrangement that we're all aware of. And it is not in line with the Paris Agreement. Unanimity is required. Some 50 members cannot manage to agree on sustainability. This is a real problem when dealing with a country such as Japan. Now, we have a trade agreement. We negotiate sustainability chapters. We should have shared positions on the international arena. Now, Commissioner, we've had 2 rounds of negotiations, no results achieved, so the plan B should be to leave the ECT. Thank you.
Monsieur Emmanuel Pompard.
Merci, Monsieur.
Thank you very much, President. Dear colleagues, the ECT was signed in 1994. It protects investments in fossil fuels, allowing multinationals to take signatory countries to court. For example, Germany is being pursued for more stringent rules, as well as those countries that close their coal plants. This is a Canadian company that is taking on France as well and is threatening millions in damages if we were not to conform. We know that there gigatons that are being emitted, that is essentially the exact amount that we have left to be able to stick to our commitments under the treaty agreement. Climate neutrality by 2050. Will we be brought before a court as we try to meet those marks? I really do not think that these international treaties should take precedent over our climate commitments. Thank you.
Merci. Die letzte Rednerin.
Thank you very much. The last member to speak now is Ms. Kumpula-Natri.
Thank you, Chair. The Energy Charter Treaty has been rightly criticized. Modernization to make it compatible with the Green Deal is a necessity. I hope, however, that the treaty's shortcomings do not blind us from seeing how much we need a modernized treaty to cover the renewable energy investments. The Commission estimation shows that reduction of the emissions by the goals we have set, EU need annually 350 billion euros more energy-related investments that were done past 10 years. So it is clear also that most of this will come from the private investors. So if we get the true ambition modernization that is sought in the EU text proposal, the ECT would then be in effect to become an enforcement tool for the Paris Agreement that we currently lack. We should recognize that in the multilateral investment treaty covering renewable energy investments, and that no other treaty exists than ECT. With the modernized treaty, we could offer private investors protection and stable investment environment that is needed to increase investments into renewables. It will not be easy to find an ambitious modernized treaty. Unanimity is required among 54 parties to do the agreement. But we have to push this, and we have to convince our partners that all we are needed to Energy Charter Treaty that is in line with the Green Deal.
Thank you very much.